Stay tuned. This is your 5 Minutes Real Estate with the Leila Khan Team.
Welcome to our latest edition of 5 Minutes of Real Estate with myself, Leila Khan. Today, we have our very own home inspector, Dino Biondo, as our special guest. And today, we're talking about the second negotiation that happens after the home inspection. Thank you very much, Dino, for joining us today, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leila, for having me.
So, Dino, I wish to set up a scenario, one that we may consider to help us illustrate this example. So we have a buyer who, through their agent, negotiated a great deal on a home. So let's say it was listed for $1 million and they agreed to a purchase price of $950,000. The contract is signed and we have a conditional offer based on finance and home inspection conditions being met. And the conditional period is 5 days. So after the offer is accepted, but before it goes firm, the buyer has a right to complete a home inspection.
It is usually at this point where the agent or the buyer will call me or any other home inspector to schedule a full home inspection. Once I complete, I will provide a buyer a report with all the deficiencies that I find while doing the inspection. During the inspection, I look at major systems and structural components. Example, include roofing near the end of life, furnace past 20 years, evidence of moisture entering the house or foundation crack, and outdated electrical systems.
Well, let's give some price context so buyers can actually understand what these things really mean.
Sure. A roof replacement can be anywhere from, let's say, $5,000 to over $20,000, depending on the material and the type of roof. A furnace and an AC system upgrade might cost $6,000 to, let's say, $12,000. Waterproofing a foundation can range from $2,500 to $25,000, depending how bad the situation is.
So when these types of issues come up, that's when we start the second negotiation. So in our scenario, the buyer purchased the house for $950,000, but now it has been discovered that there have been a few big issues that need to be addressed. So in this example, let's assume that the roof, the furnace, and the air conditioning all need to be replaced. So Dino, what is a reasonable cost for us to assume in this situation?
Let's say that the total cost to fix the situation is $15,000.
Okay, so now we have a buyer that's negotiated a deal for $950,000, but they will have to fork out an additional $15,000 before the house may be considered functional and safe. So now this is the point for the second negotiation. There's usually 3 scenarios that can happen to remedy the situation. The first is that the seller agrees to repair everything before the closing date. The second is that the seller and buyer both agree on a new price or a price reduction. So the seller agrees to take a price cut. The third scenario is that the buyer may feel that they already got a great deal and that they can go ahead and assume taking on all of the costs on their own.
And here's the part people don't realize. The seller is also evaluating how committed the buyer is.
Yes, if the buyer is emotionally attached to the home, the seller may feel that they don't need to offer as much, but the buyer may be willing to walk, and in that case, the seller may have to reconsider.
And if the deal falls apart, the seller may end up accepting less for the next buyer. So compromise is often the better path.
Correct. The key is approaching this professionally, not with a long list of small requests. So in this scenario, the buyer and seller agree to take an additional $10,000 off the purchase price. So now the buyer only pays $940,000 for the house, and all parties are in agreement and the deal moves ahead.
Right. Focus on working together to come with a solution acceptable to both parties. This is the best way to come out ahead.
Dino, thank you so much for being here and giving us the illustration and the examples.
Always a pleasure.
And if you're thinking of buying a home and you want guidance from offer to inspection or to closing, reach out anytime. Thank you so much. This has been 5 Minutes of Real Estate with the Leila Khan Team. Thank you for joining us, Dino.